Welcome to the ANU College of Law Open Day information session on Careers and Employability. My name is Sok Ho Chong and I am the Careers and Employability Deputy Manager at the ANU College of Law. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge the Ngunnawal and Ngambri peoples who are the traditional custodians of this land on which I meet upon today and pay my respects to the elders past and present. I would also like to extend this respect to all First Nations viewers. Joining me in conversation today are Associate Professor Jonathan Liljeblad and current law students Kriti Marjan, Matthew Shaw and Yifan Jia. The ANU College of Law has a dedicated Careers and Employability team that offers one-to-one career consultations as well as professional development workshops and career events throughout the year. Our goal is simple: to equip our students with the knowledge, skills and confidence to pursue their dream careers. We do this by providing assistance with career planning, job search strategies, resume and cover letter reviews, job and clerkship applications, interview preparation, LinkedIn profile reviews, and networking strategies. Our team is able to connect you to industry professionals through on-campus and virtual events and initiatives such as the ANU Law Careers Fair, Tertiary Work Careers Fair, mock assessment centres, case studies and mooting competitions, industry-led professional workshops, employer meetings and presentations, as well as employer treks. We also manage the ANU Law Internship program for both domestic and international internships, clinical programs, and the ANU Momentum Mentoring and Professional Development program. Let's hear from a few of our students on their experiences. First of all, Kriti, what careers and employability related initiatives have you undertaken and how do you think this has supported you for your future career?
I've been fortunate enough to be a part of many careers and employability related initiatives during my time at the ANU, studying a law and politics philosophy economics degree. I've been part of the Achichas program twice, that is the Australian Consortium for Indonesian Studies, where I worked at the Elections and Democracy Association, as well as the National Commission of Violence Against Women. Here, I was able to learn Indonesian without doing Indonesian courses in my degree, whilst also translating my legal skills into a foreign environment. I worked on this internships virtually, so I learned virtual working skills and I was able to see how Australian laws and Australian legal systems compare to those in our surrounding neighbourhoods. I've also volunteered with the International Law Clinic last semester. There I helped the political prisoner organisation prosecute military governments for their crimes before the International Criminal Court. This involved writing quite a big report in collaboration with a few other students to go before the ICC. And I believe that this has supported my future endeavors and my future career goals by teaching me what it means to work with others and what it means to translate legal concepts down for various different organizations and various different audiences. I've sort of furthered this skill by working at the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade as part of the law internship program for a semester. Here I worked on a completely new area of international law, being trade and investment law. I was responsible for seeing how we could seek out Australia's interest in reforming the World Trade Organization. And I was able to see firsthand how Australia litigates its disputes. I think this has supported me in my future career by showing me that litigation and disputes might be an area of the law that I'm interested in, and that even within international law, you can still have those experiences. Right now, I am on the World Bank Fellowship here in Washington, D.C. Every day, I assist the team in fighting corruption and bribery and fraud by looking at cases where these allegations have been made and seeing whether the World Bank can prosecute them and put them up for sanctions or banning these companies from wasting future resources of the World Bank. This, I think, has supported my career in ways that are just indescribable. I'm physically here in Washington, D.C., and I get to partake in this country's legal environment, but also political environment. And it has shown me how much politics intersects with law and development in particular. For my career in particular, I'm very interested in the intersection between international law and international development. And so this World Bank Fellowship has really shown me a pathway where I can go from law student to legal professional within that field. Finally, I have also, aside from these more formal experiences, informally partaken in the Australian National University College of Law's Law Reform and Social Justice program. This is a program where I didn't have to have any specific qualifications. I didn't really have to apply to get in, but I was able to volunteer with the community legal education, which helped me develop public speaking skills where I talk to different school children on their rights, their legal rights, such as policing powers and what to do when you get stopped by the police. I also partook in the police witness examination program. This allowed me to practice my in-court skills by examining and questioning these police officers as if they had committed a real crime, as if I was a real lawyer in court. These skills also led me to try out mooting, and I represented ANU at the UTS Tech Law Moot. This is a completely new area of law for me. Tech law and IP law was an area that I just hadn't explored before, and I noticed that, you know, even if you haven't done this area of law, by exposing myself in this LRSJ platform, I was able to say, oh, okay, I understand that, how that works, and I understand how a lawyer can take an infringement of copyright law, for example, before a judge and sort of fight their case and argue for their client. These advocacy skills of mine, I think, are going to be invaluable as I, leave law school and join the workforce. And I've also written for a few parliamentary inquiries, which has allowed me to, again, broaden what I know about the world. So I wrote about human rights in the Pacific. And this showed me how to communicate in written form and still advocate and still be persuasive, but also factually grounded. I had to interview academics from across the Pacific and had to look at Australia's foreign policy objectives and what Australia was actually achieving with those foreign policy plans and seeing whether they work, whether they match up. And where they didn't, I was able to write some criticisms and recommend things to the government and find solutions. This solution-oriented mindset that I've gained from this experience, I believe, is going to help me in my future career because the world is full of problems, and that's where lawyers come in. We are part of the team that helps sort these problems, whether on a small sort of personal, interpersonal scale or on a larger sort of global development level.
Thank you for the insights, Kriti, and the information that you have provided. I think a lot of our students will benefit from that. Matthew, how has the ANU Law Internship Program assisted you with your employability and future career prospects?
Yeah, there are a couple of key ways I think the ANU's internship program has helped me both, as a student, but also in my future career. First and foremost, experience. I don't think anyone can deny the value of, real world on the ground experience that comes from being placed in a professional environment, applying the skills you pick up throughout your studies at uni, including legal reasoning, effectively accessing legal research databases, and of course, good old critical thinking, applying all of those to real world matters, whether they're legal matters in a community legal service or public policy problems in a government department, or anything in between, really. I think all of that practical application improves your capacity as a professional, and it also makes you a more attractive prospective employee, I think. Another benefit of the internship, which I think is a little too often overlooked, is the opportunity to meet other, often brilliant legal minds, professionals who have been working in their field for many more years than you, are great fonts of wisdom and experience, and creating those professional networks and often just good friendships, I also think drastically improves your career prospects.
Thank you, Matthew. A lot of very useful information there for our future students. Yifan, how have you benefited from the Careers and Employability team, and what are some of your tips for our current and future students, especially our international students?
I think I really learned a lot from my consultations with Sok. I could still remember the first time I came to Sok, I was so confused that I didn't even know what questions I should ask. And then he let me understand where is the starting point of finding a job. And later, he also helps me edit my resume and cover letter and gives me so many good suggestions on how to prepare for an interview. I think it is quite common for us to feel that we are confused about our future. But through my consultations, I feel more confident and I learn more about myself. I know what is my passion and what are my strengths and weaknesses and why I want to work in these fields or in these law firms. So I really want to say thank you to Sok, and he always encourages me and make me more confident in myself. I am an international student, so I can definitely tell what are the difficulties we are facing as an international student. I would say that make the best use of the resources from our college and from our university and be more confident. And we can learn a lot from other people's experiences and listen to other people's advice. But finally, we need to ask ourselves what we really want, and then we need to decide what works best for us.
Thank you for that, Yifan. I'm glad that you have benefited from the career consultations. And a question to any one of you here. What advice would you give to your first year self in regards to planning your career path?
My advice, I think, would be to keep your eyes and your mind open to new opportunities and don't be afraid to take them. I know some people come into law school with a very clear idea of what they want to do and where they want to go, and I respect that. I mean, I certainly didn't have that idea, but I also know, like me, a lot of other students arrive with much less certainty about whether they want to practice at all, or if they do, in what area, and that can be scary, but I think it can also be quite freeing. One of the key benefits, I think, of studying at a law school like the ANU's is the sheer variety and quality of different opportunities that are open to you. And I encourage everyone not to shy away from those, whether you know what you want to do or whether you don't. I think in many cases, you might just surprise yourself.
Well, first, I would say don't be panic if you think you cannot find a job or you don't know what to do in the future, because these questions would occur to you again and again. So just take your time to explore your interest and passion, work hard, and be well prepared for all kinds of opportunities. And secondly, I would say be more open to different possibilities. Sometimes you would find something really interesting while you are not so attracted by other things, but you can only tell unless you really experience them. And finally, I would say be more positive and be more optimistic, because there will be so many people who are there with you and who are willing to help you and support you. So just be more confident and believe that all your efforts will have paid off.
The ANU College of Law's internship program offers students an unparalleled opportunity to put their learning into action and carry out a law-based research project in a legal professional workplace. Internship placements are available within a variety of Commonwealth and Australian Capital Territory government departments, statutory bodies, community legal centres and other non-government organisations. I'd like to introduce to you Associate Professor Jonathan Liljeblad, Director of Internships at the ANU College of Law. Hi Jonathan, every law school offers experiential learning. What separates the ANU College of Law from others when it comes to the internships we offer and the partnerships we have?
Thanks for that question, Sok. And it's great to talk to everyone directly about internships. The unique nature of the College of Law experiential learning opportunities is reflective of the university as a whole and the university's position as a national university within Australia. I'm speaking as someone who is coming from the United States, and so I have like a more or a broader perspective about experiential learning opportunities within Australian universities. And my experience and my take is that relative to other universities in Australia, and this includes the other G8s, ANU is a national university. And this means two things. Number one is that as a national university, ANU has a much greater attention to, a much greater orientation towards the international realm. And so relative to other universities in Australia, it pays much greater attention to things happening overseas. And at least for the experiential learning opportunities, what this means is that we as a College of Law are looking towards opportunities overseas. And this means both for Australian students looking for careers outside of Australia, as well as for international students who are coming to Australia and looking for opportunities. The second thing I'll mention is, again, because of its position as a national university, ANU is in the locus of the federal government here in Canberra. And this translates to a greater level of attention to the public sector. So relatively speaking, compared to other universities in Australia, ANU is able to access a higher proportion of experiential learning opportunities that relate to the public sector. So this includes government, includes policy, includes a lot of not-for-profit, non-government organization opportunities, translates to a lot of opportunities within the federal and the state level governments that are coming here to Canberra. And so for at least for ANU students, this means a good cross-section of opportunities within the public sector. But also, because of ANU's reputation nationally as a whole, this means a lot of access to opportunities within the private sector. So I think ANU, because of its position, because of its status as a national university, is able to provide a much greater diversity of experiential learning opportunities, particularly within its internships for students interested in international opportunities as well as domestic ones, and public sector opportunities as well as private sector ones. So I think that's my take. So thanks.
Thank you for that, Jonathan. The pandemic suspended a lot of practical opportunities for students. What's the situation now, and what can students expect if they start their law studies at ANU in 2023?
Yeah, COVID-19 really affected a lot of universities, and ANU is no exception to that. It has altered the nature of experiential learning opportunities that we're witnessing. So during COVID, there was a general motivation for a lot of virtual opportunities with internships being done online. Post-COVID, so now that we're transitioning to a post-COVID era, we are seeing a lot of internship opportunities returning to in-person models, so that there is a return to in-person opportunities. However, in addition to that, a lot of our partners and a lot of internship hosts continue to retain virtual opportunities. So basically, the situation right now that students can sort of take advantage of is that there is a mixture of both virtual online internships as well as in-person real-world internships. And so this is a situation of opportunity, I think, for students to enjoy a greater range of experiences coming here to ANU.
And the last question, Jonathan. What is a capstone experience, and how does it fit into a law degree?
Yeah. So a capstone experience refers to units or courses that are meant to combine all of the entire undergraduate education into a single cohesive learning experience. And by that I mean that any student who's taking a capstone experience is basically going through a course that calls upon them to integrate and consider and apply all of the education that they learned throughout their undergraduate studies. This is not just within the College of Law, but throughout whatever degree programs they have. With the Laws 4230, 6230, that is becoming a capstone unit. So basically that means that students who choose that particular internship course are being called upon to go through experiential learning opportunities within workplaces that allow them to go ahead and integrate and apply everything that they've studied so far throughout their undergraduate education.
Thank you, Jonathan. And I'd like to also thank Kriti, Matthew, and Yifan for sharing their insights and experiences. If you'd like to learn more about what the ANU College of Law offers, you can find more information and links to other resources in the description. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye for now.